So hi, so it's Ken again. So today we're going to do some more breathing. We're going to do reverse breathing, often called Daoist reverse breathing. This shouldn't become a normal way of breathing, but practicing it for a few minutes every day is very, very beneficial for your health. Okay, in this form of Daoist breathing or reverse breathing we're doing, the breath shouldn't be forced. I know in some advanced Qigong practices in Tai Chi, Qigong practices in general, they can use this and call it a packing of the breath or packing of the Qi. This what we're going to do today should be done gently, comfortably. Okay, so I've done a bit of a warm-up, so you could do some of the waist turning as I've demonstrated in previous films, just to warm the body up, and then we'll get into it. So we've been through quite in depth the normal, or what they call often called Buddhist breathing, or abdominal breathing, or belly breathing. So we'll only go through it very, very quickly today. We'll put a bit of detail into it because it's important to get this right as well. You want to make sure that we're not doing shallow breathing. So breathing in, you want the hand on the belly to rise with the in-breath. Breathing out, the hand on the belly falls with the out-breath. Breathing, you don't want a major rising and falling of the hand on your chest. You might get a very slight, very small rising and falling of the hand on the chest. Make sure it's not really big, not really pronounced, and definitely make sure that your shoulders are not moving with rhythm of the breath. Really feel like you're breathing into that area that's about 3 finger widths underneath the belly button and in the centre of the body. You can imagine you have a ball there about the same size as a golf ball, table tennis ball, or a squash ball. As you breathe into it, feel it grow to about the size of your fist or the size of a large grapefruit. Breathing out, shrinks. Breathing in, it grows. It's this ball growing and shrinking in the lower abdomen that makes the hand on the belly rise. But it's a ball, so you should feel it growing in all directions as well. So take the hand off your chest and place it onto your lower back. Just the back of the hand, don't straw with the palm. And as you breathe in here, you want the hand on your belly. And now the hand on your back to rise again. Breathing out, the hand on the belly, the hand on the back falls again. Breathing in, the hand on the back doesn't rise as much as the hand on the belly, but you want to feel the hand on your back rising and falling with the rhythm of the breath. And just as we're sat here not really moving, I want you to try to make the out breath a little bit longer than the in breath. And you really shouldn't be able to hear the breath. The breath should be nice and long. Again, the watchwords for the breath. The breath wants to be long, smooth, fine, and quiet. Nice deep diaphragmic breath. So we know the diaphragm, the sheet of muscles underneath the lungs, dome-shaped sheet of muscle underneath the lungs. When we breathe in, it inverts, or it should invert this dome to draw air into the lower, larger half of the lungs. As you breathe out, it takes its dome shape back. Nice, deep, diaphragmic breathing. Really good for massaging the internal organs around here. This breathing into the lower back, often called kidney breathing, massages the internal organs in the lower back, the kidneys. You're massaging all these organs with this nice, deep, diaphragmic breath. Okay, so this is Buddhist breathing. So let's go through now. Let's go through Daoist reverse breathing. And it's breathing that you have done all of your life. You have done this all of your life. Unconsciously, we're just going to make it conscious now. It's the sort of breathing you do if you're upset, crying. You breathe in, and the belly contracts. Breathe out, and it contracts. It's the same when you do a big belly laugh. You breathe, you breathe out, but the belly goes up. Or if you're going to push something really heavy, you breathe out, but the belly inflates. Yeah, belly inflates. Okay, so we're going to make it conscious now. And again, comfortable. Shouldn't be forced, okay? Especially in the early stages of practice, it shouldn't be forced. Or if you're not careful, you can cause issues with blood pressure and other diarrhea, things like that. So it shouldn't be forced. And you shouldn't practice too much of it. I say a few minutes every day is beneficial, really beneficial. And you can just layer it up, practice a few minutes every day, and over time, those layers, that time will mount up into something. Okay, so place both hands onto your belly. Middle fingers either side of your navel. Palms flat onto your belly. Relax your shoulder. Head as if it is suspended from above. So nice lengthening, ears pulled back, skull lifting up off the spine. The jaw parallel to the floor. Hands onto the belly. Middle fingers either side of the navel. Palms flat onto your belly. Relax your shoulders. Breathing in. So the normal breath is the belly fills the hands with the in-breath. Breathing out. You just do this to get used to using the abdominal muscles. Breathing in, belly fills the hands with the in-breath. Breathing out, help the breath out with a bit of a push on that breath, as long as it's not uncomfortable. Breathing in, belly fills the hands with the in-breath. And breathing out, help the breath out with a bit of a push again, as long as it's not uncomfortable. Really activating all these muscles to help you breathe. And this abdominal breathing, as we've talked about in previous films, really beneficial for digestion, really good for boosting the lymphatic system, massaging all these organs around here, lowering your center of gravity. And when it comes to the energy side of Tai Chi, working with that ball in the belly, the lower dantian, it really helps with cultivating or refining the chi energy in your body, if you believe in a mysterious energy that can't be seen, can't be measured, can't be proved to exist. I believe it exists. Okay, so Daoist reverse breathing is, as the name suggests, the reverse of this. So just take your fingers and touch them onto the belly line. You can take the rest of the hands off your belly. As you breathe in, I want you to suck your belly in. As you breathe out, push the belly out. Breathing in, suck the belly in. Breathing out, push the belly out. You're not sucking it like you've not eaten for months and months and months. Again, comfortable. So, all of these, you should only suck it into about a third of its maximum. Well, you can imagine we have in previous films we talked about in Daoism, they have the golden thread on the top of the head. You can imagine you have a golden or silk thread that passes through a point on your lower back called the Meng, the gate of your fate, or the gate of life and death. It's pretty much behind, on the back behind the belly button. Imagine you have a silk or a golden thread that passes through there. It passes through that wall in your belly. It's about 3 fingertips underneath the belly button and in the centre body. And it's connected to a point just underneath your navel called the Chi Hai, acupressure point. And as you breathe in, I want you to use your mind to pull this thread, to pull your belly towards your back, towards your spine. And as you breathe out, relax the thread and the belly goes back in. Breathing in, you pull this thread, so you pull your belly towards your back. Breathing out, you relax the thread so the belly goes back in. Breathing in. Breathing in. At the same time as you're breathing in, pulling your belly towards your back, I want you to tense your buttocks, your glutes, your gluteus maximus, the largest muscle in the body. And again, don't tense these to the maximum. If that's as much as you can tense them, only tense them to a third of their maximum. Breathing in, pull the belly towards the back and tense the buttocks, the glutes, the bum cheeks to about a third of their maximum. Breathing out, relax that thread and relax the buttocks. And at the same time as you're breathing in, pulling the belly towards the back and tensing the buttocks, I want you to tense the muscle that runs in between the legs, the perineum. And again, you're not tensing these muscles to their maximum. If that's as much as you can tense them, only tense them to a third of their maximum. Breathing in, pull the belly towards the back, tense the buttocks and the perineum, the muscle that runs in between the genitals and the anus, to a third of its maximum. Breathing in, relax. And at the same time as you're breathing in, pulling the belly towards the back, tense the buttocks and the perineum, tense the muscles used to stop yourself from breaking wind or to stop the flow and go to the toilets, the anal sphincters. You have 2 anal sphincters, internal and external anal sphincters. The external anal sphincter is the one where we put waste into our toilets. The internal one is without going into too much detail, it's at the top of the rectum. It allows matter into the rectum. Inside the rectum distinguishes as whether it is a gas, liquid, or solid. And decides whether you can let a sneak one out or you have to hold it to go to the toilet. Too much detail there. Okay, so breathing in, pull the belly towards the back, tense the buttocks, the perineum, and the anal sphincters. And again, only tense the anal sphincters to about a third of their maximum. So if that's not you tense them, only tense them to a third of their maximum. Breathing in, pull the belly towards the back, tense the buttocks, the perineum, and the anal sphincters. And breathing out, relax. And this tensing of the buttocks, the sucking in the belly, the perineum, and the anal sphincters tilts the pelvic area ever so slightly forward. This takes the hollow out of the small of the back, and with the head as if suspended from above, gives you the nice lengthening of your spine. So breathing in, pull the belly towards the back, tense the buttocks, cold floor, anal sphincters. Breathing out, relax. Breathing in, pull the belly towards the back, tense the buttocks, the perineum, and the anal sphincters. And this activates the pelvic floor, or the pelvic bowl, those muscles, the 16 muscles connecting to the pubic bone, the sitting bones, and to the sacral joint, or sacroiliac joint, that hammock that holds all the internal organs. So breathing in, you pull the belly towards the back, tense the buttocks, the perineum, the anal sphincters, head as if suspended from activating the pelvic floor. So the pelvic floor goes up as the diaphragm is going down, and this compresses all those internal organs, creating this pressure. You breathe out, it expands out. Breathing in, compress. Expanding out. And this is really good for the internal organs, of giving them a nice massage. They also say this is a way of getting more oxygen into your body. It increases your lung capacity by drawing more air into the lower half of the lungs. It compresses the oxygen that you get from the air that you breathe in, compresses it, and it pushes it. It's said to better mobilize itself around your body. This really helps. This kind of breathing really helps to strengthen your immune system. So breathing in, but again, it shouldn't be practiced to the extreme. Just a few minutes every day, really good. Breathing in, pull the belly towards the back, tense the pelvic floor, perineum, anal sphincters, head as if suspended above, breathing out. Relax all this area. Breathing in. And breathing. They practice this in other systems like yoga. In those systems, I have seen films, I've never studied with a teacher to this, but I've seen that they like to breathe in through the mouth. Breathe out through the nose. But in Tai Chi, the systems like practice this in and out through your nose. Or in the more advanced techniques, they will expel a sound through their mouth as they breathe out, so that in through the nose and that being out through the mouth. So you can do that breathing in through the nose, compress, breathing out through the mouth. Breathing in. And breathing. Okay, so we're gonna. So you can stop this film here and go and practice that for a few days or a month, and then come back to the remainder of this. I'm going to incorporate those that breathing pattern with some stretches. Okay. So standing up, feet about the same distance as your hips, your shoulders, feet parallel to each other. Same distance between the inside of the toes, heels, and the knees. Bend the knees. Head as if suspended from above. That pulled back and lifting, feeling the head, jaw parallel to the floor. Yeah. It's not really important in this, but a small gap underneath each armpit, tongue on the roof of mouth. Reverse breathing here. We're going to do what's called the elastic band stretches. So we're going to stretch the body out. We're going to stretch all the myofascia, the connective tissue, and that white connective tissue inside the body. We're going to stretch it out like elastic bands. And again, not going to the extreme. Not going to the extreme. It is stretching, so it's not just normal range of movement, but you are going stretching out. Only go out to about a maximum of about 80% of your maximum range of movement. Yeah, and then as you progress through these, if you work on these stretches, as you progress, you'll be able to stretch further. But yeah, work to your capabilities. Okay, tongue the roof of the mouth, breathing in. We're going to do the reverse breathing. We're going to coordinate the breath with the stretches. So you're going to breathe in, stretch, and then you breathe out. You're going to let the breath out as you release the stretch, and you're going to feel everything contracting back to your center. You're going to breathe in. You're going to stretch out to the extremities, to the tips of the toes, the tips of the fingers. Stretch out to the extremities. At the same time, you're going to contract towards your center as well. So you're pulling towards your center with all that, the reverse breathing and the tensing of this area, and stretching out the extremities. If that makes sense. Okay. Breathing in. Stretching up. Make sure the ribs aren't flaring out. You're not sticking the chest out. You're not curving in the lower back. Breathing in, stretching up, and pushing down. Breathing in. Pull the belly towards the back. Tense the buttocks. Breathe out. Release. Stretching out to the sides. Breathing in. Pushing up with the head. Pushing out with palms. Pushing down with the feet. Breathing in. Pull the belly towards the back. Tense the perineum, the buttocks. Breathing in. Breathing out. Pull back to your center. Breathing in. Stretching out with the palms. Pushing up with the head. Pushing down with the feet. Breathing in. Pull the belly towards the back. Do the tensing. Breathing out, release. Pushing down with the palms. No, push behind you. Push up with the palms. Push down with the feet. Push up with the head. Breathing in. Pull the belly towards the back. Again, make sure the ribs aren't flaring out. The lower back isn't curving in. Breathing in. Holding the stretch. Pull the belly towards the back. Do the tensing. Breathing out, release. Pushing down with the palms. Pushing up with the head. Pushing down with the feet. Breathing in. Pull the belly towards the back. Do that tensing. Breathing out. Release. We go around again. So breathing in, pushing up with the palms, pushing down with the feet, pull the belly towards the back, make sure the ribs aren't flaring out, the lower back isn't curving in, breathing in, come pulling to your center as you stretch out your extremities, breathing out, release, stretching back, contracting back towards your center as that area expands, so you contract back to the center as that area expands, breathing in, pushing up with the palms, pushing up with the head, pushing down with the feet, breathing in, pull the belly towards the back, do the tensing, breathing out, contracting back to your center as that whole area is expanding back. Which is exercise, pushing out with the palms, pushing up with the head, pushing down with the feet, breathing, pull the belly towards back to the tensing. Make sure you're not locking out the knees, or be careful if you do have any problems with the knees. Breathing and pushing up with the palms, pushing down with the feet, breathing, push up with the head, pull the belly towards back to the tensing. Breathing and pushing down with the palms, pushing up with the head, pushing down with the feet, breathing, pull the belly towards back to the tensing. We go around again, so breathing in. Stretching out to the extremities as you contract your center. And as always, stay focused, don't let your mind wander. Breathing in, stretching out your extremities, contracting to your center. Pushing up with the palms, down with the feet, up with the head, pull the belly towards the back of the tensing. Pushing up with the palms behind you, pushing down with the feet, pushing up with the head, breathing, pull the belly towards the back of the tensing. Pushing down with the palms, up with the head, down with the feet, breathing in, pull the belly towards the back of the tensing. And I intend to do 3 repetitions of that set there. Then you can finish up. I like to finish up any stretching with a little bit of loosening up, so just a bit of waist turning. Loosening up. Loosening up. You really feel yourself moving from your center Just doing normal breathing as I do this. Pelvic area is tilted forwards, and that reverse breathing and the tensing the buttocks, the perineum, the pelvic floor, and the anal sphincters helps to tilt the pelvic area forwards, and that with head as if suspended above gives you that nice lengthening of your spine, that central equilibrium, that bonding. You're just turning on that centre line, moving from your centre. All those muscles you've just been working with the reverse breathing, you're moving from the area. Moving from the area. Make sure you're not just tensing the hip flexor muscles against the hips to get this movement. Moving from your centre, floating across this area. Engaging all of your core muscles and your deep frontal line, again, which we worked on in previous films. Okay, so just a short-ish film today for me. Practice it. Again, don't go to the extreme. Don't think, oh, I'm going to get really, really healthy. I'm going to do this loads and loads and loads. You can do some more damage. The thing with a Tai Chi, the stuff that I practice, they're slow burners. Part of traditional Chinese medicine, let's say they are like preparing the herbs they use in traditional Chinese medicine. You prepare them, you boil them all up, but if you turn the heat, whack the heat right up, you're just going to destroy all the properties or the medicinal properties in those herbs. You have to boil it very, very slowly. It's the same with these sort of exercises. Not too much, not too little, just right. Again, I'm just starting to walk on now, so give them a go. Listen to your body. Don't get to the extreme. If you do start to have any reactions, any negative reactions from them, then either stop or you can contact me on Facebook or leave a message on the YouTube films, and I can direct you to people who can. I'm just again watching. I can give you some advice. Okay, don't get to the extreme. Practice it or don't. Make sure you are practicing something. Don't get sluggish. Get yourself outside, breathe, and move. And I will see you in the next film. So bye for now.